So today in this video, it's going to be about how you can get a coordinated strategy in your digital journey. So we're going to cover the importance of that coordinated strategy, how to get this level of coordination that you need to have a successful digital strategy. And in order to do that, you need to have a steering group. So we're going to go through that. So what are the roles of the people, or the roles of that group, I should say? And lastly, but very importantly, who should be on that steering group? So we're going to cover all these four main items today in this video. So the importance of having a coordinated strategy allows you to make sure that your IT investments are well aligned with your business goals. So this is the top most important thing that you should do. As we all know, many IT investments are based on, I think that my cousin has a very great tool, I'm going to have it in my own company and that's going to solve my problems. This is not the case. You know it now, I'm sure, I'm convinced. I lived it many times with customers myself, or even in my own organization a long time ago. But the alignment of the IT investments, I'm not saying expenses, but really investments, aligned with business strategies or business goals is very, very important. And also having this well-organized and coordinated strategy allows you to also make sure that the delivery of the IT is going to be there. Again, IT investment, so you're going to spend money on something that you expect and you want to have return on investment. So IT has to deliver that value, and that group will help to improve the chances or making that a success by aligning everything all together. Also, in this strategy, managing the resources, the IT resources and everything around has to be well managed. Example, if you have all the projects running at the same time because you want them tomorrow, that doesn't make sense. Your IT team will be overwhelmed, except if you have no limit in your budget. You cannot hire everybody in the world. Even if you do that, how you can coordinate all these things? You need to have a plan. You need to have some phases, and that group should be the central point of deciding and helping that. So the fourth item of the benefit is really to manage your risk. Always there, always present. If you don't manage your risk well, if you don't plan ahead, it's not to be negative. It's really that you need to think about, okay, what could happen? What should be your focus? So that group should take care of that. So we're going to go through that in details to hopefully influence you to put a group together to make it happen in your company. So how to get great coordination in your digital journey? First, a digital journey has many projects. It's not only one big project that lasts forever. You need to divide that in many projects, and those projects should be as small as possible. Sometimes it's impossible to be that small, but at least by doing and dividing them, you can have them placed in time. You can plan it very well. So that's why having an IT roadmap, something we'll talk about a lot on this channel, is essential for you to be successful in your digital journey. So you need to get this group, which is a central decision-making group for everything IT. So it sounds trivial to have like one location, one group that takes all the decisions, but that's not that common, unfortunately. Most of the time, like in each department, they have their own thing, they have their own budget, and they use the money to buy their tools, the tools that they want. They just say, hey, IT, do you think that this tool is great? Yeah, I think it's great. Okay, I'm going to buy it. And the second group says, hey, do you think that this tool is great? Yes, go for it. So you end up to have like different tools that could be only one doing all of them. And I won't go there. We can do a video just about how to select tools and how to integrate tools and how to make sure that everything aligns. But that group should be the group that says, hey, wait a minute, look at it entirely, look at the holistic view. We have the same tools, and I'm going to show you two quick examples in this video today. So as I said, not trivial, single point of contact for everything IT, but everything is IT. Everything is digital in the companies nowadays. So at the end of the day, this group is very much involved in many departments, if not all the departments. And as I said initially, it should be involved at the strategic level, not only at, okay, just find me something. IT, with somebody who knows what he's doing, should be involved with VP marketing, CEO, CTO, COO, everybody at that top, like a CIO. And on that group, as the third element, is really to have qualified individuals. So who should be on that group? Again, we're going to go through that today as well. And what are the roles and the tasks that this group should do? It should be clearly articulated at the nascence, at the birth of that group, to make sure that you know exactly where it's going. And that group needs to be communicated, needs to be you should send a news, an email, whatever, the way that you do with your staff, but said that we have this group. If you have anything IT, please contact that group. It's very important for having a coordinated strategy. And these members, they should be committed to make a great digital journey for everybody, staff, leadership, customers, any stakeholders around the organization. So what is the role of that group? First, showing business and IT leadership. As you can see, I'm also mentioning business. I like to say that I'm an evangelist about CIO, director of IT should be involved in the strategy, in the business, because everything is digital, as I said. So this is really important to me. That should be important to you as well. So, and what are the role at the high level? We have another page about something like more, I would say, more practical or in practice. But in that case, that group must listen to the customers. When I say customers, is staff is their customers. The market, the whatever market you are in, anything related to the market. So the members of that group, they should be aware of what's happening internally and externally in terms of needs, processes, and how it communicates between, what are the journeys of the visitor, for example, and what are the tasks and roles of the staff. Also, they must know the IT team's skills, what they are good at, what they are weaker at, and how you can complement these needs. You don't have to hire like 10 more people to get your journey, your digital journey going well, but what you can do is make sure that they are trained for it, or you hire external people to take care of a need in a short to mid-term in your journey. That's important too, so to make it happen. And that group should promote collaboration, because as I said, you don't want, and we have a slide about that, you don't want to have your company keep working in silos. As I said, with budget, I have a budget, I can buy the tool I want. I have my budget, another department. So we need to break these silos. So that group should promote collaboration, and collaboration could be on the same tool, on the same processes, or any other things that make sense for you in your projects for your company. So, and they should be, the members should be IT knowledgeable, which makes sense. They are going to be involved in IT projects. What does that mean? They don't need to know all the solutions, all the tools, all the software of the world. What they need to know is the basic stuff and be able to learn things and understand when they need to speak IT, they need to speak business. At least you need to have a few of these members being able to speak both languages, business and IT, because the bridge has to be made very often. Sometimes, most of the times, business people don't understand IT people and vice versa. That's a challenge. So that group has to play that role of translate business to IT and IT to business. Very important, very key. This is what I do every day. And they should be good at solving problems. So it seems to be like fairly wide, yes. And you'll see, depending on who's on that group, that's going to be that person or that role that should take care of certain problems, or they can work together to make it happen. But obviously, as you know, in IT projects, it doesn't go always smoothly. So yes, you need to speak both languages, business and IT, but also you need to be ready to adapt to any context changes, any problems, challenges, conflicts. So this is why that group should be good at solving problems. So now in practice, same thing, role of the group, but in practice. So what does that mean in terms of task? I said role, but it's still a bit more precise where, yeah, we in small and medium-sized businesses, we don't like to say the word governance, to use the word processes. Even I don't, but I'm using it every day now, and policies. But yes, you need to define policies. If you want to optimize your processes, if you want to be more competitive, you need to, I mean, your staff, they need to follow certain steps. They can have like some rigid series of tasks and some flexibility in between, but you need to do that in order to automate or semi-automate a process, to gather more data and get business intelligence. But that process needs to be written, mapped out, and having some policies around that on what they can do, they cannot do. So this way they know their role very well. That helps. So that group should be able to develop those policies and having a good governance overall for your company, whatever the size. And you can change those terms, policies and governance. I don't care. I don't mind. As I said, I don't like them very much, but we need to use the nice words, the good words with the good definitions. But again, you can change the words if you talk to your staff. That's a good adaptation to your context. And as you've seen, so prioritize and reprioritize certain projects over time, because that can change. You can have a stronger demand, you can have certain things that are happening, or a project doesn't go as well, doesn't go as fast, somebody's sick, whatever. You need to be able to adapt to that and change. That's why, again, if you have an IT roadmap, if you have a digital roadmap already mapped out and planned, you'll be able to play with projects and work on certain projects while some are on pause without affecting the entire operations, which is very important as well for your business. And as I said, that group needs to talk strategy. So set the strategic directions of IT projects, identify, monitor, and eliminate projects and business risks. Again, risk management. You need to plan for what happens if something doesn't go as well as we plan. So this is something you need to have a contingency plan. So that group should develop these things right at the beginning. Again, if you have an IT roadmap, you know the concept of people, process, and technology, which I have a video about that. With these two simple things, you can manage your risk a lot better, and we'll have more videos about other stuff that can help you to be successful in your digital journey. And obviously you need to monitor how the projects are going, if it goes in the right directions, and if it is aligned with your business goals. So now let's put that in visual. Let's say that we have these three departments: product management, marketing, and sales. And by the way, depending on the size of your business, that could be one person, and one person, or even like the same person doing both. We don't mind. The thing is, those are different functions within your company. So you don't want them to work in silos. You don't want them to say, hey, I can do whatever I want. And same thing for sales. You want them to if they select a tool, for example, on the IT, for anything related to IT, if they make a decision, they should talk to a group. They should look at, you should send a request to that group, and the group takes care of aligning everything. They don't need to talk to each other necessarily, but they can. But the goal is to bring that to a central point of decision. And with that group will be aware of what's happening on the other departments or the other roles or functions. And from that, they can help, example, product management to take a decision. So what we'll do, we'll go through two quick examples of that. So again, we have our three departments or three functions in siloed, divided, unfortunately. And in that case, in my very quick example. Product management uses Team for chat, not video conferencing, but perhaps yes. But let's talk about only chatting within their members. And sales, they use Slack. And marketing is looking for something. So they could select something else, Discord or whatever. So it would be like 3 tools for 3 departments. So what does that mean is if they have issues here, the next one here and this one, the IT team needs to know all of them. They need to configure all of them. They need to perhaps train 2 to 3 different tools to the people in the organization. So that's not the way to go. So this is one example. Obviously, I think you know where I'm coming from and where I'm going. But let's say another quick example before talking about the solutions. In that case, marketing is using a marketing automation tool. I didn't put any brand here. Let's say this is MailChimp. And for sales, they're using Pipedrive as an example, like another CRM. So for sales, like customer relationship management, and marketing automation can be email drip, it could be a newsletter that you have within that tools, and many other things. So this is not the goal of talking about that. But if they haven't talked to each other, or they haven't talked to a group like this guy, that group, I mean, they could have made their selection based on their budget. But these 2 things, what does marketing automation exactly? What marketing automation does, they send emails at the minimum. They can do more than that. Emails to customers. So the list of customers is there. So you can imagine in a company like that, with that siloed setup, they have their own list of their customers, and they also have another list. So 2 different lists of customers in the same organization, when you can have something fully integrated as a solution. So this is why, example, the CRM has been selected first. The second, the marketing automation should look at the CRM type of thing, the brand and what they do, and how they can integrate with the list of customers in the CRM instead of rebuilding another list, which would be a problem. And vice versa, marketing can have forms on the website that gathers leads that are sent to the sales team. Even if the marketing people are not using it, that could be the same form. So anyways, we don't want to go into too much details, but what you want to do is, in that example number 1, you should select Teams or Slack, not both, one or the other for chat. I would tend to say Teams because you have chat and video conferencing, but again, this is not my call for today. So, and on the second example, the group, making sure that the CRM and the marketing tool or tools, they talk to each other, and you have only one central list or several central lists if you segment your markets, but at least you have a one database for both. Or if you have 2 databases, it's bi-directional and they communicate to each other very, very well. So, and again, fully integrated. So that's kind of a quick example of very easy examples of how the group can help to coordinate everything within your company. So now let's talk about more examples that this group can do. So again, as I said, you're going to hear that very often on this channel: IT roadmap, IT roadmap, and IT roadmap. So in this example, IT roadmap, that group is responsible, or should be, or will be responsible of supervising your IT roadmap's implementation and everything that is involved, which is a lot, and it's over many years. So having an IT roadmap is the best way to plan your digital journey and plan ahead and communicate. And obviously the group will take care of evaluating the progress and the performances and the projects and the people in the project and how it's going, and try to get some data as well. So this is like one example of what the group can do. Second one, we alluded to that earlier: set priorities of the projects. What should come first? Why? Is it based on future integration? Is it based on actual needs? Is it based because you said to your investors, or that's really a need that you need to do because the competition is so strong? So that group should look at everything before making those priorities. Because as you know, all departments or roles or function, they're going to fight to get their IT projects first, but that doesn't necessarily make sense to go with the strongest or the loudest. Communication, that group should take care of when something goes well, when something goes wrong. It needs to be communicated to staff, whatever happens. So, and the strategy. So, if you have a roadmap, you know where you're going. So you can communicate where to go, and what is the next project. How is it going on this project? And this project is over. It's working well. We have some hiccups, blah blah. So let's communicate with staff. What does it do is you can get the trust of staff, because if you only talk about the good stuff all the time, and you hide what's happening in the back end, some people will know that's going to spread out, and they will lose confidence and trust in your group, on that group, to communicate the information well. So you have to be careful about that. So now, who should be on that group? The answer is, it depends. No, seriously, it really depends on the scope of your projects. But essentially, you should try to cover the following roles. Again, you should have a member or a few members of the leadership team. So business strategists, in my terms. Second type of role is market experts or experts. So they know the market, they know what's going on, they know the competition, they know how you should adapt. That's going to help you to prioritize your projects in your journey. This is important. And IT experts, because once you know the goals of the business, the roles are filling up the market information. You need to have a technologist knowing how it can be done and what should be done and why it should be done first, because you want to get some quick wins at the beginning. And longer projects, you need to kick them early, even if the results, the return on investment will be later. So all these things, again, I'm talking roadmaps again. And department leaders. So why? Because they all know what they need. At least they will learn how to assess their team to know what they need. So they can bring some requests, and also they need to understand the other projects and why the business is going that way, for market, for technology, all these things. So they need to be well communicated, and they can bring their requests in. But with this one, you have to be careful. If you have like 8 department leaders plus, let's say 1 plus 2 plus 3, you have too many people on the team. So make sure you start small in that group, and you can always add people later. So, but the gist of that is, if I summarize it in one word, it's alignment. You want to align your IT projects, your IT initiatives, with the business goals, with the market, with the technology and the skills of your IT team. You can always fulfill the weaknesses by hiring people externally and answering the needs of the departments. They know with their staff, they know the little tasks, but the more important tasks, but the small details that you don't know at this level. So this is why I'm summarizing this thing as being well aligned. So being well aligned in what sense? Business and IT, as I said, market and IT and business. IT resources to manage them well, and project coordinations or projects coordination. So just to name these 4, if you can align this very well in your digital journey, and you have these people being on that group, that should help a lot to align everything and to make it a success, and not fall into the 70% of IT projects failing. So what I can say is, don't wait to start the steering group. Whatever you have in an IT roadmap, whatever you haven't planned, the new things that bring, and you can call it the name you want. It doesn't have to be an IT steering group or IT steering committee. It could be like innovation committee. It could be a committee of the future, whatever you want that makes sense in your culture. So don't take my words. Be creative. depending on your staff and everything. But in terms of trying to summarize that as the last slide of this video, who? Select the members. And based on the projects, select the best people to work with you, and quality versus quantity. I've seen situations where we were 4, we were nimble, we were working very well, and new person, new CFO came in and say, hey, let's bring everybody. So we jumped up to like 10 or 11 people, and the meeting started to be efficient. It wasn't efficient at all, and everything was frozen almost. So we had to do like another meeting between meetings. So it was only an informative meeting because you had like too many people. So keep it small, keep it nimble, smart people, well committed, and that's going to go well. And later on, you can always add people. How? If you recall, I mentioned policies, processes, governance. So make sure that you are defining the role of each member and what needs to be successful and what needs to be accomplished to be successful in your projects and your journey. This is important. So define that as quickly as possible. I mean, almost the first meeting, the kickoff meeting of that group. And the last one, what? Assign the task. Make a list of tangible tasks that you must do to align everything in your business to make your journey a successful one. So again, don't wait to start the steering group or whatever the name, because that's going to be very, very useful for the future and to make your data journey a success.